before the world would come to know the name Aria Patel, there was only a quiet girl in Jaipur who understood the language of shadows. She was born during a monsoon, when the rain fell like confessions from the sky. Her mother, Anika, a soft-spoken schoolteacher with a poet's heart, named her Aria after a musical term she barely understood, but instinctively felt. "It means a solo," she had whispered to the crying baby, a voice that rises above the rest. Her father, Rajiv, was a man of industry and steel, someone who loved from a distance and measured affection and expectations. He wanted a son. Instead, he got a daughter with questions in her eyes and storms in her heart. Even as a child, Aria was peculiar. She didn't like toys. She liked shadows on walls and the way light danced in cracked glass. At age 7, she started drawing faceless people. At 9, she stopped speaking for a year. At school, Aria wasn't the brightest star. Teachers marked her as intelligent but distracted. She would stare out the window while equations floated over her head like drifting birds. But she saw things the others didn't. While they were reciting multiplication tables, Aria was watching a bird carry thread to build a nest outside the class window. Over and over. She once wrote an essay about that bird that made her literature teacher cry. But praise was rare in her house. Rajiv believed success had a shape: law, medicine, or engineering. Art, that was for unfocused girls. Girls who waste time. So, Aria became two people: the quiet daughter who nodded in obedience, and the secret dreamer who stayed up until 3 a.m., painting entire worlds onto the backs of old notebooks. She didn't sleep much. Dreams felt too soft compared to the ache of what she wanted to become. But if you listen closely, she never truly stopped communicating. Her silence wasn't absence. It was depth. It was music only the wounded could hear. That wound never fully closed. She left Jaipur at 18 with a single suitcase and an admission to a university in Delhi, under the guise of studying architecture. But it was never the building she loved. It was the spaces in between. She wandered the city like a ghost with eyes open. She sketched strangers in metro stations, painted on rooftops, lived off chai, and borrowed time. In Delhi, she fell in love for the first time with a philosophy student named Vihan, who played the cello barefoot and believed in nothing but music and rebellion. He saw her, not the mask, not the polite smile, but the storm underneath. It didn't last. Some love stories are too full of fire to survive. But when he left, he said, "Aria, you weren't born to belong." And he called her weeks later, offering to adapt her work into a short film. Aria said no, 3 times. She was afraid of being seen, but the 4th time, she said yes. That film, The Girl Who Forgot to Speak, played at Cannes, and for the first time, her name was spoken in rooms she'd never imagined entering. Fame came gently, not as a storm, but as a slow unfolding. Aria became a name in the Indian art world, then globally. Her work was not just art, it was soul turned inside out. Every piece she made felt like a confession, whispered into a dark room. She gave interviews, carefully. She smiled, not because she had to, but because she had finally found her own light. She reconciled with her mother. Her father remained distant, but in one quiet moment, he told her, "I don't understand your world, Aria, but I see the people who do." And that was enough. Now in her 30s, Aria Patel lives in a modest flat in Lisbon. She still paints, still writes, still disappears from the internet for weeks at a time. And once a year, she returns to Jaipur, not as the daughter who stayed quiet, but as the woman who learned how to speak without apology. The world calls her mysterious, elusive, singular, but the truth is simpler. She's just a girl who refused to abandon her inner voice. And in doing so, she reminded the rest of us to listen to ours.